Hello, 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 everyone. You're on a film channel watching a film review, you know what it is, I don't have to explain it, okay. The Lost Daughter is the directorial debut of famous actor Maggie Gyllenhaal. You may know her as Rachel from The Dark Knight, or the titular secretary, or from Crazy Heart, Frank, or her TV show The Deuce. The Lost Daughter is an adaptation of a book by the same name by Elena Ferrante. The author apparently has never been seen publicly, no one even knows what she looks like, but what do you care? You're watching a movie review. You're not reading a review, you don't care about reading. Who cares about books? Books are for old people, right? Books? Yuck. The Lost Daughter stars Olivia Colman, Jessie Buckley, Dakota Johnson, Paul Mescal, Ed Harris, and Peter Sarsgaard. My thoughts on the cast and their performances is sort of a microcosm of my feelings on the rest of the film, and that's that they're all solid. Jessie Buckley, in my opinion, gave the best performance in the movie. I don't think any of the other actors did anything super special or exceptional or anything worth noting. Not that they're bad actors or anything, or that they make bad choices in this film or anything like that in regards to their performances. I just didn't feel like I was getting anything special or new from the characters that they were playing, and I just felt like I was sort of going through the motions in terms of as an audience member watching these performances and trying to get something out of them. I felt like I was seeing them do things that I had seen them do before. Like Olivia Colman, for instance, a lot of her mannerisms, comedy-wise, that she has in this movie, there aren't a whole lot of comedic moments, but the comedic moments that she does have in this movie, it reminded me more of like her acceptance speeches than it did in any other performance that she's given in like other movies, which I guess every actor brings themselves into it, but it felt like Olivia Colman in some of those moments more than it felt like the character that she was playing, if that makes sense. I guess when you see the movie, you'll know exactly what I mean because this movie isn't out yet, but I think besides Jessie Buckley, one of the other things that I really enjoyed was the portrayal of the moment-to-moment difficulties of being a mom, which I, and probably even Maggie Gyllenhaal herself, will attribute to the book, but she adapted it in a way where I felt it in the adaptation. So I guess kudos off to Maggie Gyllenhaal for that, because watching this movie felt like, this isn't a direct one-to-one comparison, but I felt moments here where I was like, wow, this is to Motherhood what Requiem for a Dream or Trainspotting is to drugs. The Lost Daughter is really good birth control, honestly. Like, you could show this to a group of teenagers and be like, do you want this? Do you want this in your life? And I'm pretty sure a bunch of them will just be like, oh yeah, no, being a mom sucks. I probably don't want to be a mom. But what really helped me feel these things is the sound design, which was amazing. And by amazing, I mean that the sound of the children crying was so incredibly loud and played for so long, and I loved it. I really love those moments in films where you can feel the experience that's being depicted in a very tactile way. You've all been on an airplane and you've heard a child cry and you feel secondhand embarrassment and you're like, oh my god, can that kid just shut up? But it's like, you sort of feel bad for the parent that has to deal with it. Yeah, it's like that for a good amount of this movie. But you're watching a movie in a movie theater. Well, I guess you won't be because it's on Netflix, but you'll be watching it at home and you're like, okay, when does this end? When does the crying stop? Other than that, I thought the rest of the movie was just fine. I wasn't really moved emotionally when it all came together at the end. And I've said this criticism about other films before, but if I didn't know that this film was an adaptation of a book, I would have been able to guess if it was, because this feels so much like an adaptation of a book. And I feel like with a lot of book adaptations, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the content and the way that books are, that adapting it into a movie, it's so hard to not make it feel like a book. And I really don't know how to further explain it. It's sort of just like a you know it when you see it type of thing. If there are other people who feel this way, please tell me, because so many movies are book adaptations. But I think overall, I'm just really tired of learning about a character through flashbacks over the course of a movie's runtime. It's so boring, it's played out. We've been doing this same thing since literally the 1940s. I don't care. Whenever this is a device for a film, I already know where the movie is going. You're manipulating me to feel sympathetic for this character, and then you'll be forced to feel conflicted. Like, I know where we're going. Like, I don't care. All the flashbacks that happen before the big flashback is so pointless. Just stop being a coward and start off with that, and let me decide as an audience member how I feel throughout the runtime as the character goes through something else with that as the context. Like, I don't care. I really don't care. Maybe because because I've seen too many movies, and this trope is so tired, and I want nothing to do with it. So with that being said, I'm giving The Lost Daughter a very generous 6 out of 10. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you agree or disagree, tell us in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends. Do all the things. The Matrix video, it's out. It's right there. You're looking at it in front of your screen right now. Click on it if you have the time, if you want. It's up to you. Whatever. Okay, bye.
You have to get past the Avengers and Marvel shit at some point, okay? Other people make movies.